Page 88, theme from New York, New York. You're going to get this a lot as a piano player. It's kind of an arrangement as a piano player. It's a vocal piece. And they've just made sort of a piano solo arrangement. It's not really a piano solo arrangement. It's a vocal piece. So this is the kind of thing where you would improvise. Once you get to know it, once you can play it the way it's written, then improvise. Feel free to change stuff in here. Remember that the person is supposed to be singing it. So while they're singing it, you can do other stuff. And if the person singing it, singing the melody, then you don't need to play the melody because they can cover that. You can do other stuff after you've learned it. So let's cover this learning part first. Now this is a rather fast piece, and actually usually it's in cut time. I mean, it's just, it really moves. We're not going to move. I don't do that moving stuff. We're going to go slow. So for the right hand at the beginning, it's just staccato accent. Again, we swing the eighth notes here. Third line down, fingering. You're coming off of the second line here. So the first chord is with 3 and 5. But I recommend going ahead and using the third finger on the eighth notes. So you're using either 3 and 4 or 3 and 5 for these eighth notes. Because it's easier than using 4 and 5. Use 4 and 5 if you want, but I prefer 3 and 4. And then when you get to the first ending, 4 is okay because you're not doing eighth notes, you're doing quarter notes. They're slower. And then, okay. Page 89, let's go down to the fourth line. And we're still in the right hand. First measure, your D is held out from the line previous. And then you have a 1, 2. I recommend for that second measure that you use a 3 on the D and a 2 on the C. And then you can, I don't have to cross over the thumb here. See, so the second measure is a half note G. And then you reach down with third finger. And then 4 and 5 for the last chord in that line with the fermata. And then here. Last line. After the first measure, you have this. Staccato accent, and that's important. Staccato accent. No pedal, of course, because that screws up the staccato. For the left hand, it's just an accompaniment. No big deal. Rhythm-wise, I don't see anything tricky about the left hand. Just play it the way they're showing you. So when you go to put them together, to go that fast. I went pretty fast, but that's the idea, and this whole piece just kind of does that. Then once you can play it that way, then feel free to improvise if you want. Just go back through the book and review all the different things you can improvise, all the different ways they're giving you improv ideas, and see if you can stick them in here someplace. Now, roadmap wise, we do the first line, then we do the second line, and then we do the third line. Big deal. Then we repeat. Got a first ending there, right? So we go back and do the second line again. Then we skip the third line and go do the fourth line. That's the second ending. Go over to page 89. We do the top 2 lines on page 89. There's a DS al coda. DS is go to the sign. The sign is the beginning of the second line on page 88. That squiggly thingamajigger. Yeah, that's the sign. So you go back to there. Then on the third line, at the end of the first measure, there's 2 coda with a line and crosshairs in it. So you play that measure and then immediately jump straight across to page 89 to where the coda is, and you play the coda, and they're done. And in doing that, you actually end up, if you were singing it, you would be singing all 3 of those verses, because yeah, we're going to do that 3 times, believe it or not. So let's try this out slowly, just to check notes and rhythms. And we're going to do the whole thing just like it's written. Yeah. No pedal, because this is a light, bouncy piece. You don't need pedal. We're not going to do it light and bouncy. We're going to do it slow and boring. Still not going to use pedal. Right hand, left hand. Give you 4 counts because it's a 4/4 time. 1 and 2 and ready and go. And